Welcome to this exciting video where we explore the top 3 most valuable Washington quarter-dollar coins that have become legendary in the world of coin collecting. These quarters may look like everyday change, but rare dates and limited mintages have turned a few of them into true treasures worth thousands of dollars. Let's get started. First up, the Washington quarter dollar from 1983 with a P mint mark, especially one found in dirty circulated condition, a coin that often sparks curiosity among collectors and beginners alike. The 1983 Washington quarter belongs to a long-running series that began in 1932, honoring George Washington, the first president of the United States. By 1983, this design had already become deeply familiar to Americans, yet each year still carries its own unique story shaped by history, minting practices, and economic conditions. The obverse of the coin features John Flanagan's iconic portrait of George Washington. Even on a dirty example, the strong profile of Washington facing left can usually still be recognized. Grime and dark toning may settle into the recessed areas of the design, often making the lettering and facial details appear more dramatic over time. Above Washington's head, the word Liberty stretches across the top of the coin. On a dirty coin, these letters may look faded or partially obscured, but they remain an essential identifier. Below the chin, the phrase "In God We Trust" is visible, sometimes softened by years of circulation and handling. The date 1983 appears along the right side of Washington's neck. This year is especially interesting to collectors because no official mint sets were produced by the U.S. Mint in 1982 and 1983, making high-quality examples harder to find today compared to surrounding years. Just to the right of the ribbon tying Washington's hair, you'll find the small P mint mark. This indicates the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which had resumed using mint marks on quarters starting in 1980. The presence of the P helps distinguish it from Denver and San Francisco issues. The reverse of the 1983 quarter features the familiar eagle design. The eagle stands proudly with outstretched wings, clutching arrows that symbolize strength and defense, while olive branches beneath represent peace. Even on a dirty coin, this powerful image often remains clear. The inscriptions United States of America and quarter-dollar curve around the top and bottom of the reverse. E pluribus unum appears above the eagle's head. Dirt and wear can darken these letters, sometimes giving the coin a rugged and aged appearance. The year 1983 was a challenging time for coin production quality. The U.S. Mint was under pressure to produce large quantities of coins for circulation, and quality control was not always a top priority. As a result, many coins from this era show weak strikes and surface issues. A dirty condition quarter tells a story of heavy circulation. It may have passed through countless hands, vending machines, cash registers, and pockets. The accumulated dirt and discoloration often reflect decades of everyday use rather than neglect. From a collector's perspective, a dirty 1983 P Washington quarter is usually considered low grade. However, that does not mean it lacks interest or educational value. These coins are excellent examples for learning how to grade, clean visually without harsh methods, and understand wear patterns. One important note for beginners is that cleaning coins improperly can reduce their value. Even a dirty quarter should be left as is unless cleaned by a professional. Original surfaces, even when grimy, are preferred over harshly cleaned metal. In terms of value, most dirty circulated 1983 P quarters are worth face value. However, their significance lies more in their history and in the potential for finding better examples or errors from the same year. Error collectors often search 1983 quarters for off-center strikes, double dies, and other minting anomalies. While these are rare, they do exist, and examining even dirty coins closely can sometimes reveal something unusual. The metal composition of the 1983 quarter is copper-nickel clad, consisting of an outer layer of copper-nickel bonded to a pure copper core. Years of circulation can cause the copper core to show through on the edges, especially on worn examples. Holding a dirty 1983 P quarter in your hand can feel like holding a small piece of American economic history. This coin circulated during a time of inflation concerns, changing technologies, and a rapidly evolving society. Many collectors enjoy building date and mint mark sets of Washington quarters. A 1983 P coin, even in dirty condition, still fills an important slot in such a collection, especially for those assembling sets from circulation finds. For roll hunters, the 1983 P quarter is a reminder to always check change carefully. While most examples are common, the chance of discovering a high-grade survivor or an error keeps the search exciting. The absence of mint sets in 1983 means that uncirculated examples often come from original rolls or hoards. This makes worn and dirty coins far more common, adding to the challenge of finding cleaner specimens. Lighting and magnification can make a big difference when examining a dirty quarter. Under good light, details hidden beneath grime may become visible, revealing more about the coin's condition and strike quality. The edge of the coin, with its reeded pattern, often collects dirt over time. These darkened grooves can enhance the antique look of the coin but also indicate extensive circulation. Some collectors appreciate the aesthetic of circulated and dirty coins, seeing beauty in their imperfections. Each mark, scratch, and stain represents a moment in the coin's long journey. The Washington quarter design would eventually change in 1999 with the introduction of the State Quarters program. This makes the 1983 P quarter part of the classic era of U.S. coinage that many collectors feel nostalgic about. When storing a dirty quarter, it's best to keep it in a dry environment. Humidity can worsen corrosion and discoloration, especially on coins that already show signs of wear. Even though this coin may not be rare or valuable, it plays a vital role in understanding modern U.S. coinage. It bridges the gap between older silver coins and newer commemorative designs. Educators and hobbyists often use coins like the 1983 P quarter to teach new collectors about grading terms such as good, very good, fine, and circulated condition. Finding one of these quarters in your pocket change can spark curiosity and lead to deeper exploration of numismatics. Many collectors begin their journey with ordinary coins just like this. The story of the dirty 1983 P Washington quarter reminds us that not all treasures are shiny or rare. Sometimes the most common objects carry the richest stories. As you examine your own coins, take time to appreciate their history, even when they appear worn or dirty. Every coin has traveled through time in its own unique way. Next up, the Washington quarter dollar from 1987 with a D mint mark, seen here in a dirty circulated condition that reflects years of real-world use. The Washington quarter is one of the most recognizable coins in American history, first introduced in 1932 to honor George Washington. By 1987, the design had already been in circulation for more than 5 decades, becoming a familiar part of daily transactions across the country. On the obverse of the 1987 quarter, we see the classic portrait of George Washington designed by John Flanagan. Even in dirty condition, Washington's strong profile facing left remains visible, with shadows and dark buildup often collecting around the hair and jawline. The word Liberty appears across the top of the obverse. On a dirty coin, these letters may look muted or partially obscured, but they still frame the design and help identify the coin instantly. Below Washington's chin, the phrase "In God We Trust" is displayed. Years of circulation and accumulated grime can soften these letters, giving the coin a worn but authentic appearance that tells a story of constant handling. The date 1987 is positioned to the right of Washington's portrait. This year falls within a period of high mintage, meaning millions of these quarters were produced to meet the demands of commerce. Just beneath the date, you'll find the D mint mark, indicating that this coin was struck at the Denver Mint. Denver-produced quarters from this era are very common in circulation, especially in worn and dirty condition. The reverse of the coin features the iconic heraldic eagle with outstretched wings. Even when dirt has settled into the recessed areas, the eagle remains a powerful symbol of American strength and independence. Above the eagle's head, the motto E pluribus unum can be seen, though on dirty examples it may blend into the background. The inscriptions United States of America and quarter dollar frame the reverse design. The dirty condition of a 1987 D quarter usually indicates heavy circulation. These coins often show dark toning, surface grime, and worn high points from years of passing through countless hands and machines. Coins like this are excellent examples for learning how circulation wear affects design details. The highest points, such as Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers, are typically the first areas to show wear. The metal composition of the 1987 Washington quarter is copper-nickel clad. Over time, dirt and oxidation can dull the original shine, leaving behind a flat or darkened surface. Sometimes, the copper core may become visible along the edge, especially on well-worn coins. This can add to the rugged appearance of a dirty circulated quarter. While a dirty 1987 D quarter is generally worth face value, it still holds educational and historical importance. It represents everyday American life during the late 1980s. Era coin collectors occasionally examine 1987 D quarters for unusual features such as off-center strikes, die cracks, or double details. Although rare, these errors can still be found. One common mistake new collectors make is attempting to clean dirty coins. Harsh cleaning can damage the surface and remove original details, reducing any potential collectible value. Leaving a dirty coin in its original state preserves its history. Many collectors prefer coins exactly as they were found, with all their natural wear and toning intact. For beginners, a dirty 1987 D quarter can be a great starting point for practicing grading skills. Comparing worn examples to higher-grade coins helps train the eye. The year 1987 sits between major transitions in U.S. coin collecting, just before the boom of modern commemoratives and later the state quarters program. These quarters circulated during a time of technological change, economic growth, and shifting culture in the United States, making them small artifacts of a specific era. Even though millions were minted, each individual coin has a unique journey. Scratches, stains, and dirt patterns tell a story that no other coin can replicate. Roll hunters often come across dirty 1987 D quarters in bankrolls. While most are common, the excitement lies in the possibility of discovering something unusual. The reeded edge of the quarter often traps dirt and dark residue. Examining the edge closely can reveal how long the coin spent in circulation. Storage is still important, even for low-value coins. Keeping dirty quarters in a dry environment helps prevent further corrosion or damage. Some collectors appreciate the aesthetic of heavily circulated coins. The contrast between worn metal and dark grime can give the coin a vintage, time-worn look. The Washington Quarter design would eventually be replaced by the State Quarters series in 1999. This makes the 1987 D quarter part of the classic era of U.S. coinage. Coins from the 1980s are often overlooked, yet they provide valuable lessons about mass production, circulation wear, and modern minting practices. Finding a 1987 D quarter in your change can spark curiosity and encourage a deeper interest in coin collecting and history. The simplicity of the design allows collectors to focus on condition, mint marks, and subtle variations rather than flashy themes. Dirty coins remind us that money is meant to be used. Their worn surfaces reflect countless everyday transactions and personal stories. Each time you hold a dirty 1987 D Washington Quarter, you are touching a piece of living history that has traveled through decades of American life. Next up, the Washington Quarter Dollar from 1987 with a D mint mark, found in circulated condition and full of character from years of use. The Washington Quarter is one of the longest-running designs in United States coinage, first introduced in 1932. By the time 1987 arrived, this coin had already become a familiar symbol of American money, trusted and used across the nation. The obverse of the 1987 quarter features the classic portrait of George Washington designed by John Flanagan. In circulated condition, Washington's profile remains clear, though softer details show where time and handling have gently worn the surface. The word Liberty arches across the top of the coin. On circulated examples, the lettering is usually readable but slightly flattened, reflecting repeated contact with other coins and surfaces. Beneath Washington's chin, the phrase "In God We Trust" can be seen. Circulation wear often smooths these letters, giving them a blended look that adds to the coin's authentic appearance. The date 1987 appears to the right of Washington's portrait. This places the coin firmly in the late 20th century, a time when quarters were heavily relied upon for daily commerce. Just near the date, the D Mint mark identifies this quarter as having been struck at the Denver Mint. Denver was one of the primary facilities producing large quantities of quarters during this period. The reverse side displays the familiar heraldic eagle with outstretched wings. In circulated condition, the eagle's feathers may appear less sharp, but the overall design remains strong and recognizable. Above the eagle's head is the motto E Pluribus Unum. Circulation wear may soften the lettering, yet it continues to stand as a meaningful phrase symbolizing unity. The inscriptions United States of America and quarter dollar frame the reverse. These words often remain legible even on circulated coins, making identification easy for collectors and beginners alike. Circulated condition means the coin has been used regularly but not excessively damaged. Light scratches, smooth high points, and mild toning are all common characteristics. The metal composition of the 1987 Washington quarter is copper-nickel clad. Over time, circulation dulls the original luster, replacing it with a more muted and even surface. The edge of the coin features reeded grooves that often show signs of wear. These ridges help protect the design and also provide clues about how much the coin circulated. Millions of 1987 D quarters were minted to meet everyday demand. Because of this, they are common, yet each individual coin carries its own unique wear pattern. From a collector's perspective, circulated examples are affordable and accessible. They are perfect for building date and mint mark sets without high cost. Learning to identify circulation wear on coins like this helps collectors understand grading standards. It trains the eye to recognize differences between lightly worn and heavily worn coins. Circulated coins also offer a tangible connection to daily life in the past. This quarter may have passed through countless transactions, from grocery stores to gas stations. The year 1987 sits comfortably within the modern clad coin era, long after silver was removed from circulating quarters. This makes it a good example of contemporary U.S. minting practices. Many collectors enjoy finding circulated quarters in pocket change. Discovering a coin from decades ago can spark curiosity and appreciation for numismatics. Error hunters sometimes examine 1987 D quarters closely. While most are standard, occasional mint errors can still exist and add excitement to the search. It is important to avoid cleaning circulated coins. Natural wear and original surfaces are preferred, as cleaning can damage details and reduce collector interest. Proper storage helps preserve even circulated coins. Keeping them in a dry place prevents further wear and environmental damage. The Washington quarter design remained unchanged until the introduction of the State Quarters program in 1999. This makes the 1987 D quarter part of the classic era many collectors admire. Circulated condition does not mean unattractive. Many coins develop pleasing toning that gives them warmth and depth over time. Handling a circulated quarter allows you to feel history directly. Smooth surfaces and rounded edges are physical reminders of years of use. This coin represents everyday American life during the late 1980s, a time of economic activity and cultural change. Teachers and hobbyists often use circulated quarters to introduce new collectors to the basics of coin collecting. Building a collection from circulated finds can be just as rewarding as collecting high-grade coins. It emphasizes history over perfection. Each circulated 1987 D quarter has its own story. No two coins wear in exactly the same way. Coins like this remind us that money is meant to move, to be exchanged, and to serve people in daily life. The simplicity of the Washington quarter makes it easy to appreciate the effects of time and handling. Finding a circulated 1987 D quarter today connects the present with the past in a simple but meaningful way.